Hi, Josh Barker with RE/MAX Town & Country Real Estate. And thank you for checking out our market update for the month of April 2016. Like I like to do every month, I'm just going to go back to last month's pending home sales report for the multiple listing service here in Shasta County. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in the slide for you now. And you'll see here, this is the pending home sales for March of 2016. Towards the bottom, I'm going to circle this for you in red. There was 348 properties that went under contract here in Shasta County last month. Now I'm going to circle for you in blue just to the right. Last year, there was 290 properties that went under contract in the month of March. So as you can see, the sales volume, pending homes that are going into escrow, is up 20% over last year, and you're probably feeling that right now if you're in the market shopping for a home, and perhaps even if you're on the market selling your home at this point. So something to look at is, hey, the market's moving forward, and it's moving forward faster than it did last year. The next thing I wanted to go over real quick is just the projection for appreciation going forward for the next 4 or 5 years. I'm going to go ahead and bring in a slide for you now. And what this slide is, it's provided by the Home Price Expectation Survey. And what it is it gives an idea of what the average appreciation could look like going across the market for the next 4 to 5 years. So right here in 2016, it's showing appreciation expected to be somewhere around 3.7%. And then it starts to trend down slowly after that. So you can see in 17, it's still in the 3s, 18, 19, and 20. Now, if you add all of those years together, though, the appreciation over the next 5 years is expected to be between 15 and 17%. So the market's still going up, but the rate of which it's appreciating is starting to slow down. The next thing I wanted to go over, and I think this is an important topic for us to discuss today. I get asked a lot about whether or not we think that the market is going to have a major correction. And these are really valid questions that consumers are asking, and in some cases sellers are asking it too. So what I want to do, I'm going to bring in a slide here in a minute, but before I do, I just want to let you know this slide is going to represent what would the mortgage market look like back in 2005 and what it looks like today. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and bring in the slide for you now. And again, this is called the historic data for the Mortgage Credit Availability Index. This talks about how available financing is, okay? Now, if you look at the report itself, at the far left, down at the bottom, it says June of 2004. And you can see that is when they started to really increase the availability of financing, and it reached its absolute peak by June of 2006. That is when anybody who was interested in buying a home was able to get credit and buy a house, okay? And a lot of us that were around real estate at that point knows about that. After that, when the market started to correct rapidly, you can see that the availability of credit started to drop quickly. And by 2008, the mortgage industry had completely tightened back down. Now, since then, they began to slowly loosen up the lending guidelines again. But if you can see from 2008 and trending all the way out until January of 2016, the availability index hasn't increased that much. It's still pretty low. In fact, we have a long ways to go in terms of availability of credit before we get back to anything close to 2004. So this, in my view, is the reason why we don't have to worry about a serious housing bubble right now, because we're not dealing with really bad lending practices at this point. And then finally, what I'd like to do, and I brought this up last month, but I'm going to bring it in one more time, is just talking about the median asking rent. I'm going to bring in another slide for you now. What this slide does is it represents how much rents have increased over the years. And if you can see it, I don't know if you can see it all the way, but all the way back in 1988, that's what you would see at the far left. Since that point, rents were pretty low, and they have trended, as you go to the right, up higher and higher and higher until where we're at today back in 2015, where rents are much higher than they were in years past. So bottom line, in most cases, it's cheaper to buy a home today than it is to rent one. And in my view, this is probably one of the largest reasons why somebody could at least consider purchasing versus renting. And it's something to keep in mind. So in any case, if you have any other questions at all about the market here in Shasta County, we're here to help. I hope you have a great April. Happy spring to you and your family, and we'll talk to you soon.